I don't even have a LinkedIn profile.
Oh, I do. I have to because I.
What is LinkedIn for? Does LinkedIn mean like you
Well,
have
I work the ones for my job, so that's how because I post our job listings and shit.
Fucking LinkedIn.
I know it's Facebook for people who just really like their job.
It's stupid. Who really likes their job?
I do. I'm not gonna lie.
Jesus.
I really do.
Well, aren't you fucking?
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah. Wah. I need a noise. You've got meh. You've got wah. I need a noise. That's currently the noise I make a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. What is the noise that's made when you lick a boot?
Oh.
Police.
Like I can count on one hand the number of times I've had good sex, and most of those times were with that one hand.
I used heroin for 2 years early on in my adulthood. I only abused it for 1 year though. First year was awesome.
I have a dream catcher hanging above my bed. It's just a picture of my future children. Because once you have kids, your dreams don't matter anymore.
Let's see. What the fuck is going on around town here? Did you see the thing that Bricky's literally just posted?
Yeah, I did see that.
Like an hour ago.
What?
I guess this is coming straight from the Bricky's post, which is I guess things fell through with the original Cincinnati investor, who I guess quote unquote turned out to be like a douchebag or something.
Oh.
But I guess he has a backup plan already in place and is still moving forward with opening a Cincy location.
Wow.
Yeah. He said he's just going to do it his way as opposed to like angel investor kind of thing.
Huh.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Hey, grassroots, man.
I wonder what the.
I don't know. Let me pull up the actual post here.
The word investor just implies to me douchebag. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
It does. It doesn't.
that just means that they are literally just money.
Well, I mean, and we had a similar situation happen with Wiley's at one point. So, yeah, it says here, we've parted ways with our original Bricky's Cincy investor because it turns out they're corporate douchebags. But the good news is we're still moving forward with the Cincinnati expansion and doing it our way. We plan to officially announce the location later this summer. See you soon, Queen City Peeps. And it's got a dope video. Just like some dope animated video.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then he also announced the May 8th roast battle lineup is going to be Will Hayes versus Brandon Stelter, Mark Perkins versus Joe Glass, Jeff Allen versus Brandon Neat, and Ian Squints versus somebody named Ouija. Yeah, and Roger.
I only know 3 of those people.
Yeah.
And none of them are matched up against each other.
No, they're not. Yeah, I know Joe Glass. I've seen him a couple times.
Okay.
I haven't seen the others.
I mean, I don't care who he is. Mark Perkins is gonna crush.
Yeah, and then
Mark Perkins might suck at roast for all I know.
I don't know. Well, one of these guys was just some dude. Remember the guy who won the first one was not a comic.
Yeah.
He was just some guy that signed
And
up.
he brought all the people.
And he brought a shitload of people.
But was he funny?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
No.
Cannot
We'll
attest.
see. Cannot attest. The winner of this one gets $100, and the top 2 finishers move on to the August championship round. Not sponsored, but they're doing cool shit. Wah. Vander and I finally went to that Commonwealth place.
How was it?
Oh, take me to church.
Bro, it fucking rules in there, man.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, actually.
Easy fucking drive. It's right up the road from my Cincinnati office.
Oh, well, shit.
Like, you literally go to downtown Cincinnati and then just turn onto a back road, and it's right there. And it takes you right over the border into Kentucky. And it's literally on, like, if you remember, like, where my old house was, like, those streets where it's just, like, houses that are, like, inches apart from each other, and it's just that, and there's just this random, like, little chapel, like, right in the middle of these houses, and it's still very churchy in there, but it works. Great sound. It was comfy. Pretty full room. For the most part, everybody was pretty good.
I think it was like 35 people there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was a free show.
They do that every Sunday. Like,
yeah.
pretty awesome.
So, yeah, it was real good. Real good. Cannot wait to go back. Would love to do a 3 mic show there. Seems kind of like our vibe. Yeah, so it's at this point in the show where for some reason our audio cut out. I don't really know what happened. It got really robotic and really digitized. So, but coming back in, we're still talking about the show at Commonwealth. Vander and I were talking about how much we enjoyed the headliner, Sean Braley, and we're remarking about how I found out from my boss that Sean Braley had actually done some work for my company prior to when I worked there. And then well, you'll see what happens. He did some work for us in the past,
yeah, Sean's done a lot of stuff for and all that stuff in Cincinnati.
Okay, cool. I got to censor out what you just said, but thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's fine. I'll make a note of it. It's okay.
Let's do this for a minute.
Yeah, thank you. There, cool.
Balls, N-word.
I didn't have my note. I usually have a notepad out to write.
Yeah,
down
he's won like
Okay.
Emmys.
So,
really?
yeah,
it was before I was there, so I obviously
Before
wasn't.
you were where?
Before I was at working there.
What's the name of the place?
It doesn't matter. No, not worth it. But anyway, yeah, I had never seen him before. I'd never met him before, seen him before.
Really?
Yeah, I just had never.
He hasn't been doing. I don't know how long. He hasn't been doing comedy that long.
I don't know. When my boss got there, she texted me. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know he was doing this." She was like, "Oh yeah, he's worked." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll have to talk to her about that when I see her tomorrow."
He's the one that did. Do you ever see my picture of at Bricky's the world record? He's the one that brought up his kid.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had literally his kicks. I mean, I'm sitting there. I mean, I've known Sean I'd seen Sean since before COVID, since that happened, and I was like, "What's up?" Because I thought he ran Commonwealth.
Okay.
'Cause he seemed like he's been doing a lot with it.
Don't know. I still not super clear on who actually runs the place. I know Allison runs the mic.
Who's the guy with the
crazy hair looking guy who was greeting us at the door, and was saying
John Bass?
the guy who was checking us in at the beginning when we got there,
I don't
right?
remember if I even saw him last night.
Oh, okay. There was a guy who was checking us in with long hair who, as we were leaving, I heard him say a couple people, "Thanks for coming out." And I didn't see him.
That might be it.
And he didn't go. And it wasn't a guy who went up, so it wasn't like he was a comic on the show.
Well, there was a guy when I was at Chris Kowalski's mic at the Springfield Theater that when he was on stage performing that night, somebody said to me, like, "Hey, that's the guy who books." I think they said that's the guy that books Commonwealth, like runs it.
Okay.
So, but I don't, because they do more than just comedy. So there's probably
they do a
people
lot
over comedy, then other people over music, and then
seems like comedy is their big pull, but it looks like they do a lot of other stuff. Like, it looks like not their big pull, but like it's popping the fuck off. Yeah. Like it's not.
That's just because there's such a saturation of performers that are ready to go on stage. So
there are, and it's in a great spot. But yeah, no, I liked his vibe a lot. I really thought he was going somewhere like with a big punch with that Chicago story, and then it didn't. And I was like, damn. It was good.
He's cool though. A lot of good performance. Spencer DeMalki did really good. In fact, he probably at the set of the night, he fucking annihilated.
Yeah. Because we had a couple of duds before him.
Yeah.
And then he went up and he went up right before Sean did. So he woke the room right the hell up. Yeah. Yeah, we saw Dusty's doppelganger.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? Andrew something.
Andrew Harvey. What?
No, but I just added him on Facebook today. He was really funny, but I mean, I swear to God, like
his name was like David Stewart.
Oh, yeah, it was David Stewart. Stewart. I don't know where I got Andrew from.
Shout out.
Yeah.
You look like our friend, and you're pretty funny.
Yeah, and honestly, similar vibe in their comedy too. I was like, oh, he looks like Dusty's like twin, and then he does his jokes, and I was like, oh, he could fucking be Dusty's like clone or some shit.
I remember one time, I was like, it was 9/11. I was trying to write 9/11 jokes, and this comic comes up to me, and it's just it was just like headlining weekend, but it was headline. He was there for the Sunday show for whatever. No, he wasn't there for the Sunday show. He was there. It was Darnell Rawlings was also doing a weekend, like did a Friday show, and basically what happened was Darnell was like, hey, I want to do this show, and they did a secret show type thing, and the guy just opened for him because obviously Darnell, blah blah. He said, "Cool, I know my way in like I know my place in comedy. Like this guy do this, you open for me, get paid for it."
Yeah,
and so he opens up for Darnell. The next day, I'm there the next day, and the guy's now the closing, headlining it, And I'm like talking about this 9/11 bit. I'm trying to figure out the 9/11 bit about like how Spirit Airlines would have, if it was Spirit Airlines, 9/11 would have never have happened. It would have been like called like 9/15 or something like that. Just something stupid. The guy was like, that's like pretty like, the guy basically said that's kind of hackish. I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, and then he proceeds to go up on stage and do the hackiest fucking 10 minutes of like about a threesome. And I'm like, yep, hack. And like fucking, dude. I was like, so like, God, you call me a hack, but yet you're doing the jokes I fucking heard before. And you're headlining.
Hey, if you'd like to be an honorary Mike and be a part of the Three Mics in a whole different way, head on over to our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/the3mics. That's patreon.com/the3mics. We've got a single $5 tier that gets you access to the whole shebang. Everything that we're going to start rolling out, whether it's live streams, uncut episodes, exclusive tickets, and other stuff like that. Who the hell knows what we're going to do? But it's simple. $5 a month gets you in as an honorary Mike and hanging out with the Three Mics over on Patreon. Once again, go to patreon.com/the3mics and become an honorary Mike today.
You didn't sign up for Crosstown Comedy Fest, did you?
What the hell's Crosstown?
No, I don't know what that is. I just can't get on board totally with the idea of a comedy contest. How do you quantify something like that?
It's just stage time.
And now it's time for Facts with Shay.
Did you know the guy that played the T-1000 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day is the brother of the guy who is the singer for the band Filter? You know, the ones that wrote, "Hey man, nice shot," and "Take a picture." So, that's cool.
This has been Facts with Shay.
Did you pay a lot of attention to the draft?
I do and I don't. I mean, because like
You
the
think the
draft
Bengals
doesn't
did well?
matter, huh?
You think the Bengals did well?
I think it's
Grade it.
a B plus, because of the fact that they high risk, high reward. It's the wideout from Alabama, Burton.
Oh, okay.
But Lee, their last picks.
Bengals draft picks 2024.
Lee is their last pick. Their center was the highest rated center last year. So I don't know how he went so late, but I mean,
How many picks did you guys have? Like 6, 7?
I think like 8. Can't remember. But then again, I don't really. After like the 3rd round, I'd stop. Realistically, it doesn't even fucking matter, because like,
What do you think
you can't
about
even grade a draft until 3 years later?
True. Yeah. But what do you think about the Falcons taking?
I thought it was just fucking stupid.
I still don't get it.
Nobody gets that. I mean,
So you pay a shit ton of money to Kirk Cousins
for how many
3
years?
years, $150 million.
They're gonna do the same thing that it just basically his goal is to teach him to play.
But I think of all the guys in the draft, like, because Penix is old already. Like, he's old for a college player.
I know.
He's 24. So, like, you're telling me he's got to wait till he's 27 to start?
Yeah.
If he's lucky, he'll get 7 or 8 good seasons. Like, that just doesn't seem like a valuable decision.
Well, look at it this way. What if he's a stud for 7 or 8 seasons?
That's still nobody.
Give him 2 years.
All
he's
the
only a stud
teams
for
want
5.
to be able to sign their guy for 10 years.
No, I know. I get it. It's the biggest head scratcher I've ever seen. It literally makes no sense.
It'd be one thing if they went out and got, like,
Unless they're worried
Garoppolo or...
unless they're worried that Kurt's still hurt that bad.
Yeah. Maybe it could just be insurance. But I just feel like that's a disservice to Penix.
Agreed.
Because really the biggest question mark with him is, can he stay healthy? Nobody's questioning his talent. I think his game will translate very well into the NFL. But, like, if that's...
I don't know what other positions they needed and what was available. I mean, a lot was available then. But I just don't know other positions they needed.
They could have... Their pass rush was the fucking worst in football last year.
That's also true.
They could have snagged up a fucking edge rusher. The Saints did really fucking well in the draft.
I don't grade until 3 years out.
We got Kool-Aid.
I don't grade until 3 years out.
There was a guy in the draft. He played for Alabama. He was a defensive back. Swear to God, his birth certificate name is Kool-Aid McKinstry. He's a New Orleans Saint now. And dude, we also got Spencer Rattler, quarterback out of South Carolina, in the 5th round. A lot of people had him in the 2nd or 3rd round. And I think that's a great pick. I think once Derek Carr finishes out this last 2 years, I really do. I think he could very well come in and be our guy. A fucking SEC guy. He's played against the stout defense of Alabama and LSU the last few years. Like, I'm excited. I'm very excited. The Saints got a bright future.
I don't know. It's interesting. The Bengals drafted everything they needed, but whether or not it pans out, it's completely up to.
Yeah.
Now Mims is a fucking massive beast beyond belief. I will say,
yeah, dude, that guy is fucking
huge,
unbelievable.
And he's also a freak athlete for how big as he is. As big as he is.
Is he going to be on Burrow's blind side? I forget if he's a left or a right tackle. Not that it matters. Like in that position, you're kind of.
No, Orlando Brown's going to be. Junior's going to be your left tackle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a freak in nature. So, I mean, he runs that guy's weighs how much and how tall, and he runs like a
4.9 or something like that.
Yeah, he can run like a 4.9. That's insane.
God.
The knock on him, though, is he only started 8 games. But he due
to injury, or?
No, it wasn't due to any injury or anything like that. He pulled himself out of one game in Georgia. But he didn't really give up any his stats are amazing when he was on the field. So,
he didn't want to risk anything. He knows that he's a fucking monster.
Dude's a fucking beast. It's going to be very, very interesting. I think I think he'll be great. I really do. As big as he is and athletic as he is, he's bigger than Orlando Brown Jr. Orlando Brown Jr. is a big boy.
I have a task for you and I. And Shay, you can get on it too if you really want to. Once the schedule comes out, because I think that plays a huge part in how one can predict an NFL season going. I think we should all write down what records will be. Like all 32 teams, write down what we think their record will be.
I'm so burnt out by that time though. But because of baseball season.
I do love a challenge.
Just write it. We don't have to talk through it all on here. Just post it. Put it on there for the fans.
I'm down. I'm into it.
You guys also need to get in this season. On my family's got a pick'em pool every week. Y'all should get on it. It's $5. Sometimes we all agree to up the ante to $10. There's typically
get enough people.
It's usually honestly just Lori, me, my mom, and dad.
No, I was gonna say if you get enough people, do you up it? Or you make it go? If you get enough people in on it, you raise the stakes a bit.
Yeah, sometimes we if it's just the 4 of us, we'll up it just to make it interesting. The more people there are, the more incentive there is to keep it at 5 because
I like
money anyway.
I like fun, harmless betting like that. Yeah, I used to do I used to do the Oscar pool in my old job every year. God, that was a pain in the ass to put together.
You should talk to HR about that. That sounds very inappropriate. I don't know who Oscar is, but I feel like he's violating some kind of HR policy.
By having a pool? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he made me put it together, too. I had to put together his pool every year.
He's a trans.
We're stupid.
Yeah. See where, Encarnacio Strand got hit on the hand? And then he got hit on the hand the other night. Stayed in the game, they pulled him, and then did X-rays are negative, but they found an old fracture in his hand. And Encarnacio Strand's like, my hand doesn't even hurt.
Are they still going to do something about it?
Huh? I don't know. Basically, they came back negative because he got hit on the hand. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's one of those things you're like, yeah, he might have broke something. Stayed in the game. They ended up pulling him out in the 8th inning for defensive reasons or something like that. I can't remember why. But I was like, okay, all right. And then they did X-rays. Next thing, X-rays are negative because Stevenson got hit on the hand too that day. Negative on both of them. And
deal with that? Why are we getting drilled?
We found an old fracture. I'm like, what the fuck's an old fracture? And then CES was like, I don't know when that happened because I haven't been hurt.
Damn. It was when he
But
was
they're out of
skateboarding
the
at the
they're
age
out
of
both
12.
out of the game today.
So he's not playing? Both of them?
Yeah. Well, I think they're honestly going to keep them both out for a
Who's
couple
on the
games.
mound for us? Is it Hunter's
Lodolo.
night? Lodolo.
Well,
Montage should be back next weekend, right?
Yeah, but the lineup is slim. I think they both can pinch hit tonight, though. I know Stevenson can.
Yeah.
They're both slim pickings.
Who do we got tonight?
Padres.
Game
Who
one.
just
It's on the
got
West Coast,
swept.
right?
Who just got swept by the Phillies.
Padres, who just got swept by the Phillies?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, we didn't get swept by the Phillies.
Just got swept by the Phillies. So, like, actually, the Phillies are 11-13 in the last 13 games. And the Reds are both those losses. Because the Reds won't split that series up. So, I don't know. I was looking at the lineup, so I've been down because I'm kind of worried that CS might be out for a while. The Reds can't afford to have any more injuries.
Who's our backup first baseman?
Spencer Steer. I don't know if he's playing first today, though. He might actually be playing first. I got to relook at it.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Have him.
No, but its problem is everybody's hurt right now, so you don't have anybody to fucking... I think Steer's playing first. No, Jameer Candelario is playing first. Jameer.
That's cool. I didn't know he could play first.
Yeah. Actually, and he's been horrible this year so far. People are getting on his ass because he's a slow starter. I don't know. I hate baseball season on Twitter. I want to kill everybody.
Yeah, everybody freaks out when it's like, dude,
Yeah.
we're not even like 10% through the season. Like,
No, we're at 10%. 10% must be 16 games.
oh,
We're not 1/6 through the season. We're not 15% through the season, I guess. That just irritating because every win's like, oh my god, we're the greatest thing ever. Every loss is like gun in the mouth, ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
That's every fan base, and it just irritates me. I want to kill everybody with a passion. I almost have all those rookie cards though. Almost. I'm so fucking close.
who are you missing?
Let's see. Because I'm just waiting everything to get shipped to me now. Pull up the roster.
All right over there?
I tried to comically slurp that drink.
Players I'm missing. Fernando Cruz, which I have a bid on for one. Nick Martinez. Justin Wilson. Will Benson, which I have a bid on. Bubba Thompson. And Nick Martini, which I have a bid on. You don't realize some of these like bullpen arms, it's almost impossible to find anything.
You know you're on the spectrum, right?
What do you mean? Probably.
Thank you so much for listening to the Three Mics podcast or watching it on YouTube, wherever you're getting this show. If you are watching it on YouTube, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app, be sure to leave a like or a rating or whatever you could do, wherever you're listening to it. And as always, be sure to go to our website, www.the3mics.com, to get all the information you need on what's going on with us and where you can see us next. Did you guys ever find your dad's porn stash?
Nah,
No?
dude.
Oh, I did.
My dad was in people with legs, so.
And now it's time for Facts with Shay.
You know, Arkansas is just Kansas with an AR in front of it. Why do we say them so differently?
This has been Facts with Shay.
I'm listening to a guy talk about faking the moon landing, which is interesting. But I was just like, this is fucking weird.
Are we moving on from flat earthers now? We're back. We're going back. We're going retro with our conspiracies. We're back.
I was like, that's a good point, but it's still fucking stupid.
I don't know. Some of those big conspiracies, I'm just like, this feels like you're putting entirely too much faith in the powers that be to pull off something that coordinated.
Yeah, no. I completely agree. And that's always been the argument. Is like, you know how many people would have to know that?
Yeah.
And it not the leak.
Yeah. Like we can't keep the fact that John Bernthal's going to be in the new Daredevil show out of the press. You think we could pull off a faked moon landing and not everybody know? Yeah.
I mean, well, was that expected?
Like, you know, I know Vander's not excited about it at all, but like, remember the pictures of Hugh Jackman in the new Wolverine suit were out a year ago, like the day they started shooting. So, yeah, if we faked something like the moon landing, it's, you know.
I guess the guy's biggest arguments were, we haven't gone back since, and we have more technology now than ever. Like,
well, but I guess
something about a radiation field. Those are just like his two arguments.
Well, I guess my response to that is like, well, we went to the moon once. You're right, and we did the moon in a day.
I know
it's not that big. We did the moon in a day. We looked at the whole thing, and we're like, yeah, there's nothing here.
That was the guy's fault. I was like, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, but that's literally all you're basing anything off of. I think the more interesting one was the radiation belt. That was a more interesting one, which I don't
radiation. I don't know.
There's like a radiation belt around the Earth.
Well, yeah, it's because we sit underneath a giant ball of nuclear energy 24/7, 365.
His argument was like, there's never been a way to kind of calculate how much you need to protect yourself to get through that type thing. And they did it on the first try. That was his whole argument.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. That's too much science for me.
I mean, you get, when you fly in a plane, I mean, because you're up that high, you do get like a teeny tiny small amount of radiation exposure, but it's so small your body is able to recover, doesn't even notice it, honestly. I mean, they do that with certain medical exams too, where they give you like a small dose of like radiation, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we all get a little bit of radiation. Casey Anthony is my mom, so I've spent all kinds of time in the microwave, and I'm fine. I'm fine. Casey Anthony is my mom.
Just a little fucked up.
I'm the only kid to survive.
But I mean, we walk around with fucking microwave ovens in our pockets all goddamn day.
True.
I mean,
true.
So, yeah, I hear those all the time. It's like, we went there and we haven't gone back since. Yeah, we it's like, if I walk into a restaurant one time and I see rats on the floor, I don't need to go back. I've seen all there is to see.
That could be Mr. Splinter.
Yeah.
Mr.
Splinter, Master Splinter.
Mr. Splinter.
Oh, fuck.
I bet Master Splinter is called Mr. Splinter in an alternate time world. He's just never fucking.
Alternate time world?
Dude, I've been playing my kid. I am so tired.
He's got dad brain.
I do. I fucking do.
You know that for Wells and I, both of our dads live in wheelchairs.
That is a true statement. I don't even have a joke for that. That's just true.
Hey, I'm just stating facts. I'm not making jokes. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, what's the difference between Shay's dad and Wells and I's dad? Shay's dad could walk.
Fucking hate you,
Tom. And he still didn't play catch with you.
Yeah, he did.
It's funny. My dad doesn't have legs, and I still am the only one out of the three of us. Oh wait, never mind. You ruined it by saying that he did play catch.
My dad was big. He was so not thrilled when I switched from sports to theater. I mean, he got on board eventually, but he was like, "You're not gonna play football." What? And I was like, "I'm gonna go do theater."
No son of mine's gonna be gay.
And then he saw one of the shows I was in, and he was like, "Oh shit, he's good at this." All right.
And he's very clearly the straightest guy on that stage.
Very much so. Well, that was what got me into doing comedy then too. So that was
Did your
where
guys' dads give you the sex talk?
No, my dad went and bought a 15-page book of like basically the basics of puberty and gave it to us and said, read this and ask me questions if you have any.
That's actually wonderful. That's a great idea.
My dad gave me the sex talk when I was 18. I was like, that's a little fucking late, buddy.
Jesus.
I was like,
hey, dude, I barely lost my virginity before 18, so that would have been in the nick of time for me.
Yeah, we the moment as soon as they gave us the talk in school, my dad is like, he had that on standby, ready to go. But that was also
I would trust a book to teach my kids about it more so than I.
It was it was informative. It wasn't like
do your thing.
It wasn't like it was like one of those you see in the cartoons where it's like a book or like an instructional film from the 50s where it was up to date.
Informational.
Yeah, it was informational. It wasn't a like abstinence only kind of thing, or touching yourself is evil kind of thing. It was just a like, here are the facts.
That's similar to the conversation I had with my dad. He never really gave me a sex talk, but one time I did walk in on him jerking off, and I ran away very quickly, and then he texted me. Like,
he didn't run away, though.
He was like, where are you going? Come back.
I don't know, his third leg looked like I could have gave him a little bit of speed, but...
I'm not done yet.
So I run back to my room. I'm like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Don't want to do that ever again. It was in our living room, too. Like... So
and the funeral was only like an hour after. Like, we were getting ready to go.
So he texted me like an 8-page text explaining like, son, sometimes I just...
Wait, when was this? Did he texted you?
Yeah.
When was
I've
this?
had a phone since I was 12.
Oh, okay.
But he texted me. And
my parents were not into that.
Basically just explained like, your mom's been tired recently.
See, the reason you walked in on me jerking off is because your mom's not banging me enough.
And he was like, it's perfectly normal to want to do that. And I was like, Dad, I'm 21 years old.
I was like, when the fuck was this?
I don't care that you're jerking off. Why are you doing it in the living room? We're all home.
It's the living room, man. You're going to express life on
My sister was doing the dishes in the kitchen.
How close is the kitchen?
You could see it. It was an open concept house.
Hey, fucking what?
Just like my dad's balls, apparently. Open concept.